Good morning. 9 in the morning. What happened with Samson? God gave him such strong power. And couldn't his enemies, couldn't they just chop off his head when Samson was sleeping with Delilah? Couldn't they have at least injured him with a spear? Or a bow and arrow? Samson was super strong. Was he also able to catch an archer on a horse or on a chariot? Maybe Samson walked around with horses and dogs. After Samson was captured, at the end, the final moments when he was before death, right? He's got the two pillars, right? He dared to ask God to give him strength, the strength necessary to topple the building and extinguish his enemies. And God gave it to him. And then the words of Jesus, something about ask and you shall receive. Knock and the door will be opened unto you. Seek and ye shall find. Samson's enemies were seeking a way to get rid of Samson. And they did find a way. Seek and ye shall find. The way they found it was through a woman. And what about you, Samson? All you had to do was control your tongue. But it is written in the Bible that if you can control the tongue, you are very powerful. I believe somewhere in there you're greater than, that is, if you conquer the tongue, you are powerful. Such a small organ and yet so difficult to control. If you have conquered the tongue, your tongue, then you have control over yourself. And it is written something like, he is greater that conquers himself than he that conquers 10 cities or 100 cities. So this morning, I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I saw many videos about boats and boat safety equipment and interesting turbines that the water passes through the turbines in the bottom, in the seabed. That's the ocean floor. And as the turbines turn, they generate electricity. Hydro power, hydropower, or hydropower. I learned about bilge pumps. And the bilge is the part of the boat that is below sea level, where all the water that falls into the boat, if it doesn't wash off the top of the deck, then it goes in and it stays in the boat. And so the bilge pump is electric. There was a fire aboard a boat and no one was injured. The cause of the fire, it was a boat with nice engines in it, inboard motors. So what happened was, there are vapors, right? And they put a barbecue. Yes, a barbecue from your backyard. They put it in the boat, and the boat caught fire. I'm glad no one was injured. Boating accidents. That's the time to bring a microwave to the boat, right? So I saw videos about how to make hand pumps, bilge pumps or hand pumps, and so on. Very interesting. I wanted to tell you what happened when I went to the park this morning. I did something unusual. Well, I went to the park. That was unusual. I just got back. I got the AC on. I finally learned how to work the air conditioner there, so that it turns off and turns back on every couple of, because I used to have to get up every 20 minutes to turn it off, or every half hour to turn it off because it was too cold. All I had to do was adjust the other button to the, well, it's divided into cold and hot section. I had to adjust it to the hot section. So I took the dog to the park. I went into the house to get the dog. I waved at the park worker. I think her car is diesel. It makes noise and stinks. It's a golf cart type thing. I had an idea. Well, so I came back into the house with my paper plate from yesterday's dinner, spaghetti, and the spouse asked me, "What are you going to have for breakfast?" And I said, "Spaghetti." And then she said she would like to make me some eggs. So I said, "Yes, thank you." And then I went to look at my mother, but she was still sleeping. And behind the door, there are too many things hanging on the wall on 2 hooks. She needs maybe 10 more hooks. She doesn't have a closet because it's not her room, it's my daughter's room. And there was a dress on the floor, a green dress. Normally I would pick it up, maybe it was a blouse. However, I decided to leave it there because never do anything for people that are not grateful. Those are the words of Mother Teresa. Then I went to the garage and got my Carlton Sheets real estate book, no down payment. And it's from 1998, maybe 1997. And the houses in there are 90,000. Now they're back down to 40,000. I'll be reading that and making videos for myself for my personal study, because I haven't read this. I used to read it, and it's got cassette tapes. But ever since he said to go to the courthouse, and I got married at the courthouse, and I had to get undressed in there, take off my belt, take off my shoes, take off my pockets, and then they put it in a bin, something like this bin here, but a white one, right? Plastic bin. And I put everything in there. I was getting married. I had the stroller with the baby and so on, and then the police officers there, they say, "All right, move it, go." I'm like, I was putting on my belt, and they said, "Go, keep moving." They're rude. But then I opened the other glass door, and it's an open courtyard with the walls, right? And I didn't like it. Many people were smoking in there. So I pushed real fast my cart for my baby, and I pulled the door open on the other side. Everybody got in, but don't get married at the courthouse. It's just not worth the trouble of getting undressed unless you go in sweatpants and just put your keys in the flip-flops or sandals and sweatpants. That's really the only way to go. And I did want to move to a city that had a courthouse next to my house, right? Back when I was thinking of moving together with a woman, right? When I didn't know any better in 2005, 2006. Because I had the intentions of going to the courthouse every day to study up on the foreclosures and the houses that are available, tax sales and so on. However, I just have a bad taste for the courthouse. So what I'll have to do is get somebody to go, like my son most likely. All right. After I went to my mother's room and left the dress on the floor next to her bed, because I mean, if you're not going to take care of your stuff, I mean, she didn't drop it on purpose, but she doesn't have enough hooks to hang up her clothes, so she's not going to take care of herself. Like when I take the food tray to her, I leave it there. I mean, she's got grandchildren. She can tell them, "Get this thing out of here. I can't even get off my bed because there's this trolley cart or this food cart block with no food and dirty dishes," and I just leave it there. This is the only way that I can get my mother to get out of the room. She wheels that cart. I don't know who's been getting that cart out, because I get out of there. I don't stay and fight. So I do it on purpose, you know. I go check on my mother like a good samurai. There was a samurai that, you know what samurais used to do for a living, right? They used to defend a noble or a king, and then they used to fight. They were soldiers. They used to fight people with swords. But one day a week, this particular samurai, when I was 14 years old, I read about him. It was Japanese, he would go visit his mother. I don't know, maybe he had a bag of potatoes or something, but he would go spend one day with his mother every week. So I do that, but I do that 7 days a week. And I crossed off my mother long ago because I knew she was dangerous. And I knew that even though she's got an excellent memory, but it's selective though. She doesn't remember the bad things she did to my girlfriends or to me, and the yelling and the growing up. She doesn't remember any of that. So the kids need a grandma, and so she's available. And these kids, I trained them that they wouldn't pay attention to her. They don't pay. I mean, they call me Daniel, so that tells you how they're not afraid of talking to adults. You know, I trained them that way because otherwise, it's against Spanish culture to call adults by their first name and things like that. But in the United States, everything is different, and my kids would have suffered if I would have given them the education I have in Spanish and the way to talk to people. Nobody around here uses it. this spouse and I are the only ones that used to use it with each other. And the first spouse and myself, and then my previous girlfriend, the Panamanian, she used to use it with me and I with her. And she said, but we cannot teach our children this way because our children will be eaten by everybody else. So I didn't teach them good manners. I didn't teach them, even they are noticing. Like, my daughter made a list about things I could do to be a better person. One of them was not to blow gas on the dinner table, not to burp, to have more manners. All right. How closely do you watch people? Do you look and pay attention? Do you really see what is God is showing you? Because my son the other day, he is young, he found out that the spouse's friend, his mother's friend, is deaf. And now he made the connection. I understand, he says, why she uses her hands to talk so much. But he didn't know that before. So his world has opened up. So I went to the garage and got this. I saw the dress, right? I left it on the floor. Then I went to the garage and saw this. And I grabbed it. And I saw the bicycle, my son's, on the floor. And I left it there. Now, I believe the cats may have knocked it down. Because that's where the two kittens have the litter box, and that's where they sleep. And at the same time that the spouse was making the eggs, she said to me, don't open the door to the garage and let the kittens out, because they're going to eat the dog's food. And then I said, let them eat it. They're only kittens, little kittens. How much can they eat? And the dog is tired from going to the park, so she's resting, not eating breakfast yet. So then I came here and I set myself up. Got nice air conditioning. Everything is fine here. Enjoy your life. Be better than I am. Take care of yourself. And that's what happened so far this morning. Bye.